in my perception, in some cases, it outstripped, some of the value of finance. I mean, in essence, finance keep the score after things have happened, where procurement and supply chain creates innovation and they create value for the organization. And I'm sure my finance colleagues may disagree with me. Governance is really important. Structuring good financial agreements is very important. But in the main, I believe procurement can make a meaningful impact in business. When I transferred, out of the very structured finance fraternity into supply chain and procurement, I found that education and development was very unstructured, and great degrees of variation of the quality of what's presented. Also, the interpretation of titles within the procurement and supply chain fraternity was all over the place. And I was wondering why such a valuable profession, equally as valuable as engineering to the growth of South Africa, as medicine to the growth of South Africa, and the financial fraternity, why this profession hasn't thought about levels of accreditation, consistent levels of education, so that a high bar is set and a high ethos and pride in that profession is grown. So for a number of years I've thought about a professional body that could mirror the impact of the Medical Council and SAICA, not only in terms of the quality of education, but also regulating professionalism in the industry. So giving people, companies that are hiring people, peace of mind that they've achieved certain bars of education. But more than that, also the ethical side of things. So procurement, in some instances, have got a bad rap in terms of how they ethically conduct themselves. And if there was a professional body that could scrutinize the ethical behavior of the people on the roll, so to speak, and over and above what the courts may say, when someone is suspected of misconduct, conduct and their own professional investigations in terms of ethical or unethical behavior, and if found guilty by his peers outside of a court process, be struck off the roll, so to speak, and hence creates comfort and confidence in companies, private companies, but also in government, that the professionals that they are employing are ethical and highly competent. So I think it's time, I think it's overdue for the profession at large in South Africa to step up and collaborate amongst themselves to set very high standards, work together with education institutions, universities, offering degrees and postgraduate degrees in a very similar framework that the finance and the legal fraternity has, and then form some form of a professional body to regulate the industry and set that bar and raise that bar for the benefit of the country at large and the organizations that employ these professionals.
Audio Jungle.